Hi, this is James O'Keefe. I want to thank you for watching the Massachusetts Pirate News and welcome, as always, my fellow compatriots, Joe, Malt, and Steve. How are the three of you doing?
We are.
Fine and dandy, like lemon candy.
So a quick shout out to Extinction Rebellion for their protest they had last week, or actually the week before, as well as to the Share the Science protest that went down in front of Moderna. Those folks did really excellent protests. We've got some video and photos of them that we'll be posting. And we expect there will be more such events in the future. Also, May 28th, we're having a pirate moot at Joe's temporary abode in Nashua, New Hampshire. If you're interested in attending, we'll put a link where you can find all the details, as well as, if you need a ride or something like that, because to get there by public transit is a train to a bus to a long walk to a bus, maybe, sort of, kind of. So rides are probably necessary in that case. So if you need a ride or you can give a ride, as always, contact us at info@masspirates.org. We're looking to do other events. Hopefully one in Worcester in July at Malt's place and one at my place in Somerville in June. So we'll see how those go. And as always, we encourage everyone to get vaccinated, get boosted, social distance, wear masks, do your best to avoid getting sick, both for yourself as well as for those around you, especially those who are immunocompromised. So we have some news. Apparently, I know we do a lot of tweeting, and that may or may not change, but it could possibly change ownership. What's the deal?
So, as far as I understand it, Elon Musk has heavily leveraged himself into a lot of debt in order to make a bid to purchase Twitter for $45 billion. That is several times more, like 6 to 7 times more than it would take to permanently end hunger, which he promised to do and then didn't because he is a lying liar who lies. And the thing about this Twitter buyout is that, one, it's not decided. It's not going to be decided for several months. And the people who are crowing about him ushering in an age of conservative free speech are dumb fascists. They're dumb fascists, and I'm going to kick them in the penis every time they say this. It's not going to be decided for like 6 months. And it's not even set in stone. The Twitter board can still refuse the deal, and I really believe they're going to, because the amount of debt Musk is putting himself in to do this means that he's going to need to generate something like $10 billion worth of profit from Twitter within the first year of buying it, which I'm not going to say it hasn't happened in the past, or I'm not going to say it's impossible, but I'm going to say it has never happened in the past, and it's not going to happen in the future, because Elon Musk is a dumb idiot lying liar who lies. The reason he is doing all of this, the reason he's leveraged all of his Tesla money in order to make this bid, is to drop the stock price of Tesla so he can buy more of it, because he hates people who short his stocks. That is what this whole bullshit is about. He is pretending to be some idiot internet simp when really he is just a capitalist swine who I am going to kick in the penis for being a lying liar who lies.
So wait, that sounds like he's shorting his own stock.
I mean, it's actually much dumber than that, because the people who short their own stock are usually cool, and they wear suits, and they don't have a stupid triangle truck that looks like it's generated by an N64.
God, I miss the N64. It was such an amazing system.
No, it wasn't, and no, you don't.
Conker's Bad Fur Day was the best game ever.
I'm not even going to acknowledge that. I'm sorry, I can't.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. The thing that I find interesting, other than the fact that this feels so much like a private equity takeover, and we know those just end up doing asset stripping in order to gain fees and milk some profits so that they can resell the company, is Musk isn't exactly a pro free speech guy. You know, I mean, talk to his employees, some of whom have been fired, or customers who've been fired because they said, I mean, who've had their Tesla
The orders canceled.
Yeah, their orders canceled. So
the thing about that order is that it was a pro Tesla blogger on a Tesla blog who placed this order and who was mildly critical, and Musk got involved. The thing that I'm upset about Elon Musk, there's a part of a number of plants that were called the plantation, because it was the only part of the factory that had black people in it. That's kind of racist. Also, he and his private security army attempted to frame an ex-employee as a mass shooter and tried to dispatch the police to kill him. Like, Elon Musk is an attempted murderer.
I was thinking he was just like, a real and oddly wealthy internet troll.
He is. Like, that's exactly what he is. Like, if Violent Acres had money, this is what he would be.
Yeah, and also, Zuckerberg is a billionaire who controls Facebook, Instagram, WhatsApp. LinkedIn is owned by Microsoft. If Twitter gets bought, it's going to be owned by Musk. We shouldn't be relying on billionaires to keep the way we communicate open.
I don't know. I think
to do that.
The guy strikes me as having a slightly short attention span. I don't know. Maybe it's just me, but
no, it's not you. He is a compulsive liar who says whatever it is to get the least amount of press at any given moment.
Yeah, if he were to buy Twitter, I give it 5 years before it's owned by some, relatively, generic, capital management firm. It'll be like Quicken.
I don't even think it would be 5 years. Like, I think he would buy it. I think he himself would fall out of the news cycle, and then he would go on to do something else. It would be like 8 months at max. And he would do nothing with it the entire time. But every right-wing numbnuts would be complaining about, oh, the wokies ruined it and made Daddy Musk sell it. Let's go shoot up an abortion clinic. I love hentai.
Are you saying you love hentai?
I mean, I do love hentai, but the right also loves hentai, and that makes me love hentai less.
Yeah. So there was some other news, so much other news, but recently it came to light that the government has some secret disinformation operation. What's the deal with that?
Not so secret. That is a new department in the Department of Homeland Security, and it was supposedly centered around specifically information sent out about the U.S., like safe paths and stuff, so that way people don't get themselves killed trying to get here.
It's
however,
not a department; it's an advisory board, the Disinformation Governance
Yes, thank
Board.
you. So essentially, it's they're making a big stink and pointing towards Orwellian on the right, and it's not that. It's not even like a full ministry.
So disinformation, this is like taking a cold really frigid island and calling it Greenland, and taking a warm island with a lot of like volcanic spas and calling it Iceland, in the hopes that some poor chumps will wind up on this place called Greenland and freeze their tootsies off, right?
I mean, it's worth noting that the people who are objecting this are individuals like former Representative Tulsi Gabbard, who is a Russian agent,
And a work of art.
Okay.
Okay.
But yeah, the reason the Republicans are objecting to disinformation targeting communities of color is because Republicans can only win if they lie. And they can only win if people in communities of color do not turn out to vote. So it's like they're talking about information like there was a meme going around that you could skip the line by texting a number to vote for Hillary. And it's like, it's that kind of shit that this board is looking for. Like disinformation about elections, tracing the origin of myths about like myths targeting Haitian communities, telling them that the border is open and that they can freely migrate. Yeah, like of course the Republicans object to a state agency operating competently.
Or like ivermectin will cure COVID. Yeah, I mean, disinformation is, I mean, it's not just a federal thing. I am fairly involved in local government, and, you know, when we have policies that are up for votes, there is there can be certain amounts of disinformation about those. And, it is what it is. I do think that, having a plan to counter that would make sense. In the corporate world, we would call this a communications department. Doesn't seem like a big deal to me.
Yeah, it's not.
I mean, the U.S. does have a long history of things like Radio Free Europe and Radio Liberty and things like that, which is getting the of the U.S. government out there. Sometimes they are true, and sometimes they're not.
Like also, the United States government does not need to run its own domestic propaganda board. That's why they own Disney Marvel Studios.
What? We own Disney Marvel Studios? Great. Can we like put all those movies out for
Can we put the mouse in public domain, man?
Can we put the mouse in shackles?
Yeah, there's actually, I mean, it's not on the agenda, but like the whole Disney self-governance mess in Florida. Maybe we could talk about that next week. I don't want to derail things.
So now you brought it up. I'm going to go in on this shit. It's not going to happen. Ron DeSantis is an Elon Musk style liar who I am also going to kick in the penis if given the opportunity to do so. He is angling to take over for Trump. And he's trying to, he is establishing a brand of conservatism that puts the state over capital. And this is kind of scary because that's not what normal Republicans are all about.
Mm-hmm.
But these neo-fascist Republicans are so mad at the wokies, the woke military, that they're willing to tolerate seditious attacks on government because they believe it has been fully infiltrated by satanic pedophiles.
Oh, the whole QAnon thing?
Yes.
Oh, yeah, I think that's a small subsect, but yeah, those guys.
It's a major subsect. It is the largest subsect, and it's growing.
Well, the one thing I thought about, one of the things I read about the whole Disney mess was that, if the surrounding county were to acquire them, basically acquire them, they would be on the hook for providing all the services that Disney currently provides.
Yes.
And they would be on the hook and they would assume all the debt that, that portion of that specific Disney enterprise owns, and which turns out would be kind of expensive for them.
$1 billion worth of debt foisted onto the Republican or the Florida taxpayer. Florida, already famous for being the least affordable state in the union, and then an extra, I think it would be $250,000 debt per family.
Mm.
It's not going to happen. And
So, will
the
that
only
result in increased revenue? Or,
For
I mean, like Disney has to pay, right? If they're allowed their own municipality status and they've taken on debt, then there's an assumption that they're going to have to pay. But if that debt goes on to the taxpayer, where's the revenue going to come from to compensate for that?
Well, it probably depends. I would assume, and I don't know this for sure, but if you have a business, I would assume that there is some sort of separation between the Disney the corporation and Disney the municipal service provider.
the Reedy Creek Improvement District.
Mm-hmm. So in this case, if the the governance arm of Disney assumed a bunch of debt, perhaps with like fine whatever, but I don't, it seems like the people who assume that debt are going to pay it off, and if they want Disney to contribute, they're going to have to negotiate that. I hear the mouse is a pretty tough negotiator.
We are going on a year now of Disney just deciding not to pay the authors of all of the licensed fiction it just bought. Like, that's been going for a year now.
There's I just have two words: Florida man. Gosh, I miss
Will
Florida.
it be Disney Man next time?
Oh,
So we have one other story. This was something that came across. I'm not going to share my screen, but apparently someone's made a mobile phone kit that is a rotary unsmartphone in white, beige, seafoam, black, and atomic hotline red. It has its own bell, like a real bell, the way phones used to have when they were ringing. So yeah, this is very retro.
It's got LTE connectivity. It uses a SIM card. It's got two displays, an OLED and a backside e-paper display. Mechanical power switch, headset jack. It's a beautiful piece of technology. I'm upset that it has white and beige. Beige is just old white. Like, if you're going to go for something retro, you need that avocado green. Like, I'm sorry, the seafoam is not cutting it for me. It's beautiful, but it's just not enough.
So as always, this is not an endorsement of this product, but we thought it was fun. And
I endorse this product.
Cool.
They have actually paid me handsomely in order to say that I have married a phone. It is my sole wife. I am an rotary unsmartphone romantic.
yeah, it's a shame you can't do text messages on it though. Could you imagine doing the text messages with the rotary?
You can receive basic.
777.
So you can receive basic SMS messages and send pre-typed messages and numeric strings, which is a small price to pay for $390 and being the most insufferably twee person you know. I've already bought 5.
So yeah, go Joe.
I was going to say, anytime you get some of that retro stuff, it's always fun. But definitely like, share, and subscribe, and make us more known, and keep on helping us fight this good fight as we try and get that misinformation handled.
According to Feng Shui, you should like and subscribe.
Check us out at masspirates.org. Thank you, the three of you. And we'll see you next week. Same bat time, same bat channel. Hope you're doing well. Take care. Bye. And we're clear.